Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Terminal 1, where today it's finally time to say goodbye to the airport that I've been working on all these episodes. I asked you guys whether I should sell it or take the subsidiary money, and I think, right, it makes more sense. I mean, I could get 170 big ones for selling it, but I think it makes more sense to take the subsidiary money. I would earn very close to 6,800 big ones a day without doing anything. Right now, I'm barely making that in profit a day, and how quickly would it take me to spend 170,000 big ones and have nothing to show for it? At least I'll be making profit from day one, so I think I'm going to make the airport a subsidiary. We're going to take the daily income and utilize it to now build my dream airport. So guys, you've made it this far. You've got to this episode and it's time to say goodbye and turn this in to a subsidiary. Cue dramatic music. Bum, bum, bum. We are done. So I don't know what that means. I don't know whether that means we've now... Ooh, okay, so the lake is on the edge of the map, which is interesting. So I've got a lot of room that I can now pretty much work with. Now, I can't... I can rotate. I just realised. Hold on, let me skip the tutorial. I don't need another tutorial. Right, now I've spanned round. The lake is just up there. So I've got a lot of room now for manoeuvring, which is really, really exciting. And I've now got 9,706 in the bank. And I'm going to assume right now, every day, I get a $6,800 almost payment coming in without doing anything. Have I got all the researching? Have I got to do all the researching again and all the upgrades? Okay, so I do have to do all the upgrades again. Policies, it requires an admin building, can't really do much about that. So I've still got lots of stuff to do. This is going to be exciting. Where does it all begin? So I think what we should do is we should start by building our runways. We've got loads of space down here to work. Actually, how much space have I got? I've got up to there. So my idea is going to be I'm going to have 4 runways, 2 either side going in different directions so we can really maximize the arrivals and the departures. And I got a little bit of space either side of the lake here to which I could utilize to my advantage to build a few little buildings and whatnot. I'm not too sure what's going to go in there, but we'll start by building a runway. And I want to give myself enough space, enough room. So I think we'll start with this one going this way, and I think I'll give it... I think we'll give it 3 or 4. I reckon we'll give it a 4-tile space, and I'll place this about there. Now, if I get a second runway and spin it right round, I'm going to give myself a free gap to the other runway, right? 4-tile space, which should hopefully work out. Or do I do a 3-tile space? No, we'll do a 4. And bam, drop you there. Now, they're slightly staggered, which is perfect for me. And if I get the taxiway, I can run the taxiway going around. I can run a taxiway going down the middle. So just bear with me a second. Let me just get my bearings together right now on how this is officially going to work. We'll do the approach there. Entry. Bam, bam. Run this going down this way. Bam, bam. So eventually when we do the upgrades, we'll have the ability to kind of, enter from the opposite side. From shorter distances, not the opposite side, sorry. So that runs like that. That comes around like this. So without doing anything right now, if I just quickly delete, we can bring this now going up and around, which I think I'm going to make it go up and around by 1. Bam, 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 bam. Make this go up and around by 1. Bam, 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 bam. And I think that's as much as the taxiways I kind of want to do. Do I need that one? There is the answer. I'm going to say no, which means getting rid of this one. Just to limit the amount of taxiways that we do have. So planes will land in from this direction on this one. They'll turn off left or right and go round. This one, turn off that way, go left or right, and go round depending on which way they want to go. But on this side of the airport, the main passenger buildings are going to be here. And then when I eventually unlock more land, we'll build the other 2 sets of runways probably a little bit further down. Right, this is interesting. Now, I think what we'll do is we'll utilize this space. Actually, let me go fast forward now, because we might need to get to the next day to get a little bit more cash. But what we'll do is we'll utilize this space over here for some cargo, and maybe utilize this space over here for some maintenance. And this will get filled in with what we need to give us the space available down here to build my passenger terminal side of the airport. Ooh, right. Now, do I concrete some of this off? I kind of like the idea of concreting it, because it allows me then to kind of fill in the gaps, fill in the nooks and crannies. Let me know what you guys think about the concreting. It works in some areas, and obviously some areas it doesn't work, but I'm not too sure which areas it works and which it doesn't. So what if I concreted all of this as if that was, all part of the runway? I know it gets rid of a lot of grass, which is probably going to damage my carbon rating. But we've since discovered how we can kind of, improve that anyway. Now, what if I just left it like that? Or is that a little bit weird? Do I fill in all the little nooks and crannies? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is it completely overkill with the concreting? I mean, it doesn't make sense to have trees near the end of the runway. Let's not beat around the bush. But does this give like a inner city or a really built up or a big industrialized, international airport kind of vibe, having it all concreted? I really don't like how the concreting works in this game. But look at that for a setup, boys. Holy smokes. That's a runway, right? Right, it's 2 runways, but that's a runway setup right there, boys. So we're going to wait till the next day now. I just want to double check that I do get that subsidiary payment come in. And when do we have to wait to? We have to wait to, I don't know when we have to wait to right now before I can actually skip to the next day. But it would be nice. It would be nice. So I think the main goal right now is, while I'm not making money, just completely leave the game into fast forward mode. So here we go. We're about to find out. Amazing. Right. So we get that payment every day. Beautiful. I knew it was going to happen, but I just wanted to guarantee and make sure before we did anything wild. Right, got the runway set up then. I think what we'll do is we'll begin with setting up a little bit of a cargo area. Now, which side is bigger, do you reckon? I feel like this side is just slightly a little bit bigger. So we'll drop down a bunch of aprons right now that we can utilize to allow us... Yes, to allow us to, maximize the amount of income we can make. Now, which way do I make it go? Do I make it go the long way? I think so. I think I'm going to make it go like this way. So if I did 1, and I did 2, 3, 4, rotate... And then go ahead and do... Actually, let me do the taxiway first, because it makes a little bit more sense. Bring this up like that. Now, do I make this go around and then come down? How am I making the planes coming in? Because I can make it like a one-way looped system. So that would mean all planes would then have to go around that way to take off. But it doesn't really matter, because it could allow me to then have planes take off this way, which is probably the better way to do it. Yes, I think. Or do I make them take off over here? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves. These are the questions we got to ask ourselves. But I'm going to bring this down to here anyway. And that'll be the exit approach for each of them stands. Or maybe we move these over by 1 more. I'm going to move them over by 1 more. The great thing about this now is I've got the money and the freedom to build it how I want to build it. So if I drop then you there, for example, bam, and then bam, and then 1 more, bam, and then next day, get my payment come in, which is always amazing now. Connect these all up, because these are all going to be for my cargo. And then if I do the same again this way, so replicate it all, and then figure out, now I know I'm wasting a lot of space, but in theory we don't need a lot of space. And then that would go like that. So to be able to get the planes to come into here, it makes sense to then technically go around like this. Now I know that is then technically the longer route to do it. It is technically the longer route to do it. So let me figure out the logistics. So they come in, they land this way, they turn off and they go around, which is quite long-winded. But I could also give them the ability to go this way. Ah! I think I know what to do, actually. Do this. Give them a secondary taxiway, which means I can then scram that off. Because this becomes the loop. Ah. Ah! That becomes the loop. Right, so I say that's that way. I say that's that way. That's that way. Right, I'm just making sure that everyone is on the same page right now. All right, making sure everyone's on the same page. I know I'm going to a bit overkill. Oh, hello, hello. Right, a bit overkill on the old one-way signals, one-way things, but they now know exactly which way they're going. So they come off, and this is a loop here, and then they go up, in, down, and then out, bam. So bam, that way if you wanted to take off from this runway, but also to come down here to take off from that runway. Right, gotcha. Which would mean, just for future reference, that that is an that way only, and this is a this way only. Okay? So you enter that way, you exit that way. That makes sense? I think it makes sense, but I'm just doubling down on it all. I'm just doubling down on it all right now, so we know exactly how this is working. I'm assuming at some point we're going to have a hiccup somewhere. That's going to mean I've completely broken my whole system. But this is just cargo to begin with. Now, I don't think we can actually buy land. Oh, we can buy land now. Right, that actually might be a saving grace for me. I might actually buy this chunk here to build everything I require now for the cargo side. I didn't realize I could build land so soon. I've already forgotten how to play the game. And let's get back into it then. And let's do some road upgrades. So roads then, we're going to bring these going down. So we'll create a nice little system like that. They're all now connected, which is going to lead over into my beautiful system we're going to have set up for all the cargo buildings. So we need to connect to a cargo depot, which is what we're going to have over here. And do I have it smack bang in the center to maximize the space? I don't really think there is a center, is there? Not really, no. There's not really going to be a center. Oh, there is a center. Oh, no, it's not really a centered area, is it? So I think I'll put it just here anyway. We'll put it there and allow the road to continue going down and continue going down this way. Now, I could push it across, but it doesn't give me the ability to get directly over there. But that's fine. Okay, we've built a perimeter going around for the cargo. Nice. Now, transporters will max out on the old transporters. So now we've got the cargo depot, but the cargo depot needs an airport entry road connection. So we'll give it that then. Airport entry road connection. So we'll just drop it there for now for the cargo side of it. And now we require a fuel depot. So I'm not that far off actually accepting my first couple of planes coming in. So let's sort out the fuel then. So fuel depot. And this is something that we could always utilize or have multiple in. But again, this is just my cargo to begin with. I think we're going to be okay. And, or do I throw this over on this side? Nah, I'm not going to throw it over on that side. I'll keep it all here. All simple. No problem. No problem. I'm actually going to drop it. I'm actually going to drop it there because that then feels like it's centered to this and this. Right, next day, another pay. That payment coming in is amazing. Right, I've actually now got planes landing. They're only small planes, but we've now got planes landing, so we could be in the position where we start earning revenue. Now, they won't utilize the other runway. They'll probably utilize that just to take off because it's the closest one to take off on. And granted, they've got to go round. I don't know whether it was easier to go around this way as opposed to that way. I suppose it's quicker for them to take off in that regards. But it takes longer to get to the gate in the other regard. So it's vice versa. You're either going to win one way or you're going to win the other. But that's done exactly what I need to do. We're already generating revenue. It's simple revenue until I can get all my passenger stuff set up. So we'll take it. We will take it. So we'll probably eventually end up running out of fuel. And we'll have to kind of get the ordering system on the go. So what can I do then to earn more revenue in the meantime? Well, one of them is to, of course, increase the size of aircraft that can land. And it all depends on our service rating over here. So cargo stuff, we're doing a great job already. We'll probably keep it up at the moment. Is there anything else that we could add to it to make the cargo a bit more profitable? Not that we need to make it profitable. Because, you know, we're making so much cash already. I'm loving the subsidiary payment. I've never had it this good. So we could do approach lights, which allows the runways to increase the aircraft speed when landing. So we'll upgrade that. So we'll just do little upgrades right now. And we'll do the shorter exits as well. So approach lights, we can drop there. So just about the right space, which is great. And drop there. We've got the approach lights now all set up. And then the shorter landing happens here. So I'll do there and there. And it doesn't like the idea of this one because it's too close to that. So I'll do that one a little bit further down, if that makes sense. Yeah, we get away with it, and we kind of get away with it. It doesn't like the whole staggered junction, but then again, it works here, so why didn't it work there? Huh? Hold on. There's an issue. Oh, I think it's because it's got... the one-way system thing on it. But we know instantly what it does. Oh, no, actually, it could not be that one. It's this one here. So if I put the taxiway back in... Okay, there we go. We can have it back to normal now. I didn't quite spot the rogue arrow. Right. Back in business. Back to normal. Glorious. Now, we could build a lot of maintenance stuff on this side, which would be kind of handy. Or I could keep it to over here. It doesn't really matter. Oh, that payday. I would never get over how good that payday feels. Knowing how much I've struggled for the series, I would never get over how good that payday actually feels. Right, what other upgrades could I do? Anything here that could benefit, right, the cargo planes. So, increase the speed and acceleration of transporters. I'll do that. Increase the aircraft speed when landing. We'll do that. Reduce all build operating costs. We'll do that straight away. Build a radio system to increase the aircraft speed when landing and taking off. We'll do that and get that built now. So where's the radio? Oh, we got to do an anti-drone thing as well. Let me do the anti-drone now while it's on my head. In my head, sorry. Radio, where are you? Where is the radio right now? I can't see the radio. Was it a building it unlocked? Radio system. I'm sure there was something like a radio tower. Or am I thinking something else? I always thought there was a radio tower you could build. I know we got the ATC tower, but I always thought there was a radio tower. What does the ATC tower do? Oh, increase the amount of planes that can land. Okay, that's important, actually, that we do get that. And I'll put that... I'm going to put that just... Oh, where do I put this? Do I put it just there? I'll put it just there for now. That means I can now have up to 15 planes coming into the airport, which, again, will generate us now more revenue. Very good. Very good. Look at that rating right now for the cargo services. Absolutely glorious. Right, lots of planes coming in and out. And other upgrades then. So the flight check service allows purchase of flight check vehicles at hangars, which will serve connected aprons. This optional service increases revenue flight checks. Haven't got any hangars just yet. The follow me cars. I don't know if they work for the smaller aircraft, do they? And we can only get 3 on each one. But I've got them none the least. We've got them anyway, so anything that can help us is a benefit. Repeat fuel contracts. Now, has anybody... I don't know if we even get any fuel contracts. I don't know if we're even kind of serving fuel at the moment. I'm not too sure. Are we selling fuel? At the minute, no. Because we don't have the contract set up. I might leave that for a minute. Or should I just get it? Do you know what? I'm going to get it. That should mean then... Hold on, policy menu. So repeat fuel contracts. Where's my policies? Hold on, next day. Oh, requires an admin building. Of course it does. I don't have an admin building. So let me drop my admin building in then. A lot of this stuff I don't currently have right now. So I'm going to put an admin building there. We'll bring the road across. Now, a lot of this stuff will probably get repositioned elsewhere at a later date. Admin building. So I should be able to do that policy now, right? So upgrade, not upgrade, sorry, it's policy. And I need to do the fuel. Fuel management active. So I can now play around with this. And if I do flexible contracts and pause. So a flexible contract, what this pretty much does is it gives us fuel. And if I don't have enough storage and if there's any extra left over, it doesn't charge us for it. But there always is a 20% surcharge on the whole order itself. So if I just fully max it out, I will only pay for what I can pay for. That would literally be it. So I will always have full storage no matter how big my storage is. That's literally how it works. So that's can only be a good thing, right? It can only be a good thing, he says. He says. He says right now. Oh, no. I don't know. Now, how do I do it where they're able to utilize both runways? Is that something I can get set up now? Dynamic runway. So choosing the closest runway of departure. When this pilot is activated, aircraft will consider second runways if the closest one is busy. Right, skip that fuel tutorial. We do not need it. So that might speed us up, but it also then might mean if I got the taxiway there and then set this up to exit, it might then mean coming down here and going that way is the quicker option. That does lead in an illegal turn, but that's okay. So yeah, it's going to utilize the other runway now for taking off. What's up with you?
Aircraft heading to stand. Going to 118.7.
Ah, so they're going across. Interesting. I don't know if I like the... Oh, hang on, I know why, though. Because I needed to set these. But now doing so...
Aircraft going to stand. Aircraft going to stand. Aircraft going to stand. Going to 118.7.
By doing so, I've now messed up dramatically, and I'm going to have to save and reload the game. Right, rather than go the long way round than go across, because it stops a plane on the runway. You know what I mean? So let me just quickly save right now. I'm going to save this in my slot 1. There we go. I'm going to quickly reload it. Bam. There we go. There we go. Already my first boo-boo. That's not bad, though. That's my first boo-boo. I don't mind. I don't mind. So that helps us out dramatically, then. We are spending a bit of cash right now, so I'm heavily reducing the subsidiary payment I'm getting as I'm eating into it. But we should technically be making a little bit of a profit at the same time. So cargo services, we have to make sure that we get that number as high as possible. Is there any other policy stuff I can do? Now, ground control, increase range for cargo and passenger aircraft. We'll grab this. Is the ground power stuff, sorry. But requires transporters. Now, where does the transporters come from? They come from the cargo over here, don't they? Now, do you reckon it's worth me adding a second one of these in? Just to give us, you know, twice as many transporters? Because I don't feel like it's enough transporters, you know what I mean? We can find out. It's not that much money to find out, so I'd rather do it. I'd rather do it. Right, there we go. Planes are now doing what they need to do. Glorious, glorious, glorious. So hopefully that number goes back to increasing again. Longer transporters, fewer trips. Nice. Electric vehicles, that does reduce our emissions. At the minute, we're positive. So I ain't got to worry about that just yet. Don't need Wi-Fi, don't need clean energy. Enhanced maintenance, hangars, double income. See, now, do we start thinking about getting the hangar stuff all set up next? So I was going to save the hangar stuff for over here, but I'm not 100% right if... I'm not 100% what I need for the planes going over there. Do I need to refuel them? I don't know. I suppose we can always find out, can't we? We can always find out. So hangar-wise, actually, before I do the hangars, let me do the taxiway. So let's say I came up like this and went across. I'm not too sure how far to take it down. But I want to create the little loop like I've created over there for the little spinny round, which makes a lot of sense. So if that's the takeoff one, they come in this, so that goes around that way. So where does the hangars go? Where should I implement them is the question. I reckon we go for 1, 2, and we do 3, 4 to begin with. So taxiway, if I bring this up and go around and then back down like this, you're in. So we've got to connect to a fuel depot. There's a lot of stuff we still got to get connected. So we do need a fuel depot then by the sounds of it. So I'll build one locally for them. So let me just set up the one-way taxi system. So you go in that way, you go in that way, you're coming out that way, you're coming out that way. Now, why would they need to go now around? Why would I need this if they're going in that way to come out that way? Well, the answer is I wouldn't. But if I moved it over by one more, I could get multiple sets in. So this system doesn't look right now. So let me get rid of all of this. And let me get rid of all of this down to there. So I'm now going to slightly offset the taxi to allow me to get multitude of hangars in. So if I went 1, 2, 3. Oh, I still couldn't do it anyway. I still couldn't do it anyway. Unless I went 1 there. That's 3, 6. Oh, I can do it the other way round though. That works. That does work. So hangars. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not the right. I got to push it back by 1. Okay, I don't think I need the little loop-de-loop though. Okay, I'm currently out of money. So if they're coming in this way, they have to go out that way. So why would... But then... I'll leave it in anyway. I'll leave it in anyway, just in case. You just never know. So apparently we need fuel as well. So I'll put a little fuel thing over here, a little fuel depot over there. I'm now just waiting for the next day to get my subsidiary money. So after the fuel purchases and the building upkeep right now and the fuel sales and the thingy, we are running at a little bit of a loss, but I'm hoping the maintenance will push us over the edge a bit more. But the day's not over yet, so we still could yet turn a profit after a few more fuel sales. See, now we were slightly technically in profit then, but we've gone back down again. But I've spent nearly 10 grand in construction, so I'll be quite a lot of money up now if I didn't. Right, last few planes are now coming in by the looks of it. Very good, very good. Very good, very good. So that goes around that way, which means that's got to go around that way. And then they can go around the whole thing on the outskirts. Yeah, I'm just getting my bearings on that. It's a very important setup we've got to do. And the last few planes should now be leaving. Nice. So that will handle then cargo and maintenance, which then pretty much I can then focus on passenger if I wanted to. So let me just now get the final couple of hangars now in. I know this is quite a lot of hangars, but this is future-proof myself for a very long time, okay? So let me just do some roads then. It might be the road connection that hinders us the most. So if I go across here, run you down to there. What are we needing then? We're needing no tug depot. So we need a tug depot, and we're obviously going to need some refueling, I think. So buying an extra tile is probably the way to go. So, or is it a drone flying over as well? Anti-drone station. Bam, that's gone. So we'll wait another day before the maintenance, because I would like to be able to buy another tile to give us that little bit more freedom. Right, so I've spent already 3,300. We're on 3,100 net profit on the day after my subsidiary money incoming. Planes are now slightly starting to leave. They're also starting to arrive. But we're not far off now thinking about getting bigger planes. Bigger planes means more money. And what is my rating? So it's gone down to 56. Why has it gone down so much? Do these need stuff? I don't know. They don't. They've got everything that they could potentially want. There's a bit of an overspill there if they need anything coming from over here. Could it be that I need more refueling? I don't think so. I don't know what I need to do right now to get them cargo services super high. Got the ground power. So have you just arrived? When do you leave? So desired time 1:30. Does that mean what time it leaves by? Or it means 1:30 in general? Because that's now elapsed the time. And the transporters don't seem to want to be transporting over on this side.
Parking brakes are set. Ground crew, you're clear to approach.
The desired service time is 1:30. Time at stand 2:39. We need to speed up, don't we? How do I speed up then? Like, seriously, how do I speed up? Right, we've made an actual profit. Even if I didn't have the subsidiary money, we would have made profit, which is great. Very good, boys. I think I might rejig some of my cargo. I might move this here as the closest one, and then move these back a bit, maybe? I don't know. It's an interesting one. So how much to buy the next piece of land? It is 5,000. We buy you. So let's just get some maintenance up and running so we're making some money over here. So we're going to require, let me extend the road. Okay, and we'll extend the road down this way. So we're going to require a tug depot, which we can drop right there, beautifully centered. And I'll buy a bunch of tugs for it. And then we need an outside connection. So no fuel, so we'll get the fuel up and running as well. Fuel depot. Buy the fuel trucks for you. Now, do I keep them completely separate? Because there's no need for them to share, is there? Oh, I don't have enough money for road. Hey guys, can you pay me, please? So the one thing about having subsidiary money is you spend it just as quick as you get it. But we should start having some maintenance planes landing shortly. Right, I feel like I know what to do with the cargo.
APU is coming online.
Right, this one's not long got here. Waiting for cargo transfer, but they look completely busy. I need this one a bit closer so they actually utilize that one. Right, I think I know what I've got to do. I think I know what I've got to do. But it might be another day of waiting for subsidiary money. That's pretty much what it's going to be. One more day and then we're all good. We're then hopefully all good. So, in reality, right,
Parking brakes are set. Ground crew, you're clear to approach.
they're only currently needing fuel and cargo. The ground power comes from the transporters. But again, I could turn off the policy to do with ground power. I'll earn a little bit less money, right? But it then makes me a whole lot speedier. But I know what I've got to do. I'm very, very well aware of it. I'm just going to wait for all these planes to now technically just leave.
Prepping for offload.
So, not too bad, boys. Not too bad. Not too bad. We're just waiting. We are just waiting. Right, this is good, because now I know I've got a game plan. So we just want them to get, well, we just basically want them to be able to utilize this cargo as well. So I move this closer. It's that road there. So these four here become closer to the one I'm going to place there, and then four here become closer to that one. So it almost technically splits it. Now, refueling, I might have to put 2 down, I don't know. But the more fueling things I put down, the more fuel I buy. So that's kind of the other downside to it as well. We just spent 4,500 because I've just filled up this fuel depot over there. So it swings and roundabouts. Right, I know what I've got to do. And I'm excited for this now. Really am excited. Right, off you go. Next day. So first things first, right, we're going to just reposition the admin building. And by reposition, what I mean is I've got to delete it. Well, put a new one down and delete the old one. I've got to do the fuel. So let me now just quickly fuel depot. I might drop one. Right. It kind of needs to go over there, but I can't buy any more land. I'm just going to throw it here for now. So the road will connect over to it. Easy enough. I delete this one, which I've got to wait for the deleting to happen. There we go. Get rid of you, and then we get the cargo depot in here. Or do I do it this way? This way or this way? It's the same distance, not really, kind of a little bit. But it's where the road and the other side meets. I've got the money. I can eventually flip that one round. Right, buy all of these. Play. Just wait for that to be deleted. We should be good. We should be then good. So what am I now missing over here? I'm missing the airport entry. Yes. Oh, this road here, by the way. That's now all up and running. So we should now be asked to be able to start accepting maintenance. Right? So that's great. Now the difference is, right, you can get flight checks to go from maintenance over to here. But there's a lot of planes now coming in, isn't there? I'm hoping this is all set up correctly, by the way. So with relative ease, I can just kind of skedaddle. All right, that's now nicely split, but I want to rotate that one. I'm going to rotate that one. I've now just got to wait until we're no longer utilizing it. See, because of this subsidiary money, I've got the freedom to do this. There's nothing stopping me. There's nothing stopping me right now apart from waiting for the payment for the subsidiary money. So now we're getting money coming in for the maintenance, which is amazing. We're going to see all kinds... Oh, that's being deleted now. We're going to see all kinds of profit now coming in. So I can delete you. And delete you. And we can then get all this back in. So they should be evenly split in theory. So it might now increase my cargo service rating as time goes on. We'll see. We shall see. You never know. But they do look super busy at this point. So that's only really a benefit, right? Right, that plane's coming in now. Let's watch this. So it's coming in here then. Let's see how long this takes. So the cargo transfer is now underway and it's done. Beautiful. The power's now done. Beautiful. And now it's waiting for refueling. So I think it's the refueling that's now slightly slowing me down. Yeah. It's the refueling by the looks of it. Because the time elapsed is pretty high. Oh, I didn't buy enough fuel trucks. That's why. I didn't buy enough fuel trucks. Right, by that logic... Okay, did I buy fuel trucks over here? Yeah. By that logic then, if I did have enough fuel trucks, we should be turning those planes around on time. Right. Okay. Right, I think we figured it out. I think we figured it out. Alright, say hasta la vista baby to those planes. Now, let's see on this next day. We're going to actually follow one of the planes that do land in. So, wait for the maintenance planes to come in by the looks of it. Right, you're definitely a cargo plane. So, let's see how quick this now takes to turn around. So, in it comes. As soon as it's in, instantly hit with the refueling, the ground power, the cargo transfer... And that plane is out of here within 40 minutes.
Let's run the pre-takeoff checklist.
Right, that's good. But obviously, it will slow down as it gets busier. But that was amazing. Now, we could do a second refueling station up here once we buy a bit more land, just to kind of evenly spread it all out. But other than that, amazing. That should really increase our cargo services rating. Right. Over here then for maintenance, that seems to be pretty high. So I think we're okay there. It's just a flight check situation. Because ultimately, they've got to drive a vehicle down here. So that's where, in the real world, I could do with not having that lake here. And I could have had the maintenance a little bit closer, but it's not the end of the world. But although it would slow down my checks. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Well, it's all okay. Another plane here coming in.
Start prepping for offload.
How long is this one here for before it's gone? It's done. It was done in 33 minutes. Right, that's perfect. That is actually perfect. Okay. Okay, boys. Okay. So, upgrades then. Ramp supervisors allows purchase ramp supervisors, performance of services and aprons, including cargo transfer, fuel, and flight checks. I've got to do flight checks. It's something that I've got to do. So we'll have to figure something out. We'll connect so aprons. This will optional service increase revenue. But it's an optional service, so I don't have to do it if I don't want to. Bigger size aircraft, raise the refund value. I should have raised the refund value. Let me just kind of get that done now. And we'll go ahead. Do I go ahead and get bigger planes? Because my cargo services now is definitely increasing. So do I just kind of tick along with the smaller planes for a minute? But then again, we need to get a bunch of stuff to be able to, you know, upgrade more stuff. I might skip to next day now. Upgrade to size 2 aircraft. Which hasn't unlocked anything new just yet. Policies. Anything here that could be beneficial. Double the income of maintenance, but requires longer to complete the service. Ooh. I'm not too worried. Not too worried. Increases cargo demand, but doubles the carbon credit. Nah. Premium cargo. Not too bothered about that just yet. Doubles the income from light check, but it becomes required. Nah. Depot sharing. When there is more than one cargo depot or fuel depot. That's what I needed before I moved the depot, isn't it? Rather than using the closest one. I'll leave that for now, because I know the issue. We're now 2-star ratings. Perfect. It should only get better, boys. That's a size 2 aircraft, by the way. How quickly for that one to get solved? It's utilizing the follow me vehicle as well, by the way. So that's now here. Cargo transfer is taking process. That wants an elapsed time of 140. And it was done in 52 for a size 2. Perfect. Give me the ratings, boys. Give me the ratings right now. Loving it. So is this the start of my big, beautiful airport? The answer is yes. Yes, it is. We've set ourselves up quite nice. We've separated the cargo and the maintenance, although they could have been kept together, but that's okay. That is okay. We now have all this space down here to slowly start building our passenger buildings, and then eventually build the double runway on this side. So we've got 4 runways that our passenger planes could utilize, because the money is in the passengers. So I feel like we've got a better level of control. This is a better system to what we had previously. The lake in the middle is slightly annoying, but it ain't the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Because I could drop a couple of hangars over here which utilize the vehicles to get down to here for flight checks. It would be nice to add it in because it will increase our ratings. So yeah. This do be looking busy. I could actually activate that policy now. Depot job sharing. Because then you'll get it from both sides if one's completely overloaded. So it's always a benefit and always a bonus. Guys, if you're excited to see where my brand new airport is going to be leading me to, then make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. But I think subsidiary is the way to go. Because look at the income I'm making already. Damn. Subsidiary is the way to go, boys. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.